learned that light travels very fast, and how it travels, that we will discuss in our next module. But till now, you all know that light helps us to see objects. When we are in a dark room, we cannot see the objects around. But when we light a candle or a torch, we are able to see the objects near to the light source. So, the objects which give out or emit light of their own are called luminous objects. Now, can you give me some examples of luminous objects from the things that you see around you? Well, sun, stars, fire, fireflies, electric bulb, tube light, torch, lamp, etc. are all luminous objects as they emit their own light. Now, can you categorize luminous objects into certain groups? Well, we can divide these objects into two groups, natural and man-made luminous sources. Sun, stars, fire, and fireflies come under natural luminous sources. And torch, lamp, tube light, lighted candles, searchlight, etc. come under man-made luminous sources. Now, all other objects which are not luminous objects are called non-luminous objects. Or we can say the objects that do not give off their own light are called non-luminous objects. Moon, table, chair, clothes, building, trees are some examples of non-luminous objects. But now the question arises, if these objects can't emit light, then how do we see them? Well, to understand this concept, let's take the example of moon. So, the fact is, moon is a non-luminous object, but still we are able to see it because it reflects the light falling on it from the sun. And as the reflected light enters our eyes, we are able to see the moon. Similar is the case with all the other non-luminous objects. That means we are able to see them because of the reflection of light incident on them. Now that you have understood the concept of reflection, can you give some examples of reflection of light from your day-to-day life? Well, when we look into a mirror, then we see an image of ourselves behind the mirror. And it also happens due to reflection of light, because as light rays from a luminous object, such as bulb or sun, fall on our opaque face, then it absorbs majority of the light and reflects some, that spreads in all directions. Now, as these reflected rays of light hit the smooth, shiny surface of the mirror, they again bounce back and reach our eyes. And due to this, we are able to see our image in the mirror. More about the characteristics of images formed by plane mirrors will be taught to you later. But here I want to ask you a question. So students, if you are attentively listening to me, then I have used the word opaque. Do you know what does opaque mean? And why do we consider ourselves as an opaque object? Well, let's understand this term by taking a daily life example. So, here I have this textbook, and if I just place it in front of my face, then can you see my face? No, right? Textbook is such an object through which we cannot see anything, as it does not allow the light to pass through it at all. And what do we call such objects? Yes, such objects are called opaque objects. And examples of opaque objects are eraser, wooden scale, pen, pencil, notebook, brick, chair, etc. Similarly, if I place a cellophane sheet here, then you can see my face clearly. And it is so because cellophane sheet is such an object that allows the light to pass through it completely. And we call such objects as transparent objects. Besides cellophane sheets, what other objects can be considered as transparent? Yes, water, air, glass sheets are some examples of transparent objects. Now, there are some objects which allow only a fraction of light to pass through them. Here, I have this oily paper, and if I place this object behind this, we can say that the object is partially visible to us. That's why they appear fuzzy and unclear to us. And we call these objects as translucent objects. The other examples of translucent objects are butter paper, ground glass, thin sheets of plastic, oily paper, etc. And you must have observed that the bathroom windows are often fitted with ground glass or frosty glass panes. So, what do you infer from all these examples? Well, we infer that objects can be broadly classified into three categories: transparent, opaque, and translucent. With this, I end this module, and detailed information about each of them we will discuss in our next module.